So often we seek to be in the flow with the universe. And one of the things that can really get in the way of that divine connection is fear. At times, fear can come in and it can hold on to it, and we can act from this place of fear without even realizing it. This place of, I'm not good enough, I need to do more, say more, do better, be better, say enough, do enough. And so in this meditation, we create a space to be with the fear, to open to the fear, and open and expand into trust so that we can allow that flow with the universe. Because when we're in fear, we contract and we hold in. And what we want to do is open and expand to allow that flow to flow through us. My name is Jenn Berkelmans, and I will be your guide through this meditation. Meditation is the practice of quietly connecting to the deepest, wisest, and most connected aspects of ourselves. It's a time of sacred connection within, but also of allowing your outward experience to be just as it is. This is the perfect act of self-love. I look forward to exploring this time together with love. Allowing yourself to settle down, settle into your seat. And allow yourself to just settle, to arrive here in the present moment, letting go of whatever was before this moment, letting go of what might be after this moment, and just be here with your body, with your breath, with your seat beneath you. Bringing your awareness to the seat beneath you, noticing the points of contact between your sit bones and your seat, perhaps your feet with the floor, or maybe your ankles with the seat if you're sitting cross-legged. Notice the heaviness of your body in contact with the seat, how the seat meets you and holds you where you are. Every time that I sit in a chair, in meditation, I am reminded of Mother Earth. Beneath my sit bones exists my chair or the couch, and beneath my chair or the couch exists the floor, and beneath the floor, if we go far enough, is the earth. And so there is this constant connection to Mother Earth, because my sit bones connect to the seat, which connects to the floor, which connects to the earth. And Mother Earth is always rising up to meet us. There's always that constant stability, that constant support that is never ending. And while we may not be conscious or aware of it, it is always there. Each of the elements has beautiful qualities, and one of my favorites of Mother Earth, is that stability, is that security, that groundedness, that quality of just feeling your feet in the grass. When you think of a tree truly rooted, it's stable, it's secure, it's solid. And the same for the earth. It's solid, it's there. We think of the air and how it flows and it changes. The wind can move in one direction and then the next. It's very flexible and moving and constantly changing. When you think of fire and how hot and powerful heat can be, how transformative it is when you take a piece of paper and you put it in the fire. You have paper and then it transmits it into something else, into soot. Or if you watch a log on the fire and see how it changes within the heat, the different colors. And water has this ability to also flow, but it tends to flow in the same direction. If you think of a river, and rivers, water is truly powerful because it can actually break down rocks. Water has the power to break things down over time. And so each of these elements has its own beauty, its own power, its own special gift. And today we connect to Mother Earth and that stability, that solidness, and we feel that. Next we're going to move to our chest and connect to the air. And we're going to notice our breath and the flowing nature of air. And that when we breathe in, we feel our lungs, our ribs expand. And when we blow that breath out, our chest contracts. The ribs come in and the breath moves out of our body. And taking a moment to notice how it feels to breathe in this moment. Often, if you go within, you can notice within the chest and the shoulders and the area where we feel our breath more naturally in our chest, in our abdomen. And by simply bringing our awareness here, immediately you might notice different sensations that are accompanying your breath. Maybe there's a bit of pressure on your chest. Maybe there's a bit of a holding on the inhale or the exhale. Maybe it feels easy and smooth. Maybe you notice tension in your shoulders. And simply opening to whatever is in your experience and allowing it to be here. Allow ourselves to be like the air and to just move with the flow. Be flexible, be open, expansive. And today we're going within our experience to recognize this feeling of fear. The fear often accompanies this idea of doing the right thing or saying the right thing or being prepared, knowing enough, having the answers, figuring it out. And what often comes with all of those things is underneath there's this feeling of fear. This fear that if we don't have enough or know enough or have the answers, that something bad will happen. So we sit with this fear. We allow it to be here. Recognize that it's here. So the very first step is bringing awareness to the fact that fear is here. And that's okay. It's okay that it's here. Fear is simply a messenger that there is something underneath that fear that wants to be seen and held within our experience. And oftentimes we get to unravel it and see what's underneath it. Much like the river or water, much like the fire, when we put a log into the fire, it's a log, it's wood. But the fire works its magic and changes that wood with heat. The colors change. As the heat rises, it turns bright white. It glows. And as we bring our awareness onto the fear, and wherever we're noticing that in our body, we get to experience what's underneath that fear. Maybe it's an experience in childhood where when we didn't know the answers, we were chastised. Or maybe when we weren't properly prepared, the situation ended in a way that caused us a lot more grief, a lot more pain. And so what happens is when we go through these experiences through life and we at the time don't get to properly feel through them or experience them, we hold on to them within our body and they build up. The fear becomes ingrained within our being without us even knowing it. And so to react from the fear, to prepare ourselves and protect ourselves, we try to be prepared. We try to figure out the right thing to say. We try to know it all, to have all the answers, to be properly prepared. But anytime that we move strictly from fear, we hold ourselves back. We limit ourselves in what we are able to do because there is a more expansive way. If you think about being afraid, when we're afraid, we tighten our body, we kind of make ourselves small, and we contract. And it doesn't allow for energy to flow. We're not receiving the energetic information that we could be if we were open and expansive. And so first we have to recognize the fear that is here. We have to hold space for it. And then there's a process of almost opening ourselves up. Opening ourselves to what is here. And when we can create space for the energies to unravel in their own way, to be seen in the light of sorts. It allows more space within our own channel for the wisdom, for the guidance to come through. And so while there is a level of knowing, there's a level of preparedness, it's coming from a place of wisdom and guidance and trust rather than from fear. And so the process to go from this place of preparing and over-preparing and feeling stuck in fear and needing to know the answers and needing to be prepared and coming from that fear to opening to this more expansive leaning into trust, allowing what we need to know to come to us when we need to know it, so that we can be prepared from a loving way. The difference is simply awareness. So when we notice this need to know all the answers, we notice this desire to have it all planned out perfectly, what would it look like for us to lean back and allow ourselves to be guided to what to do next, one thing at a time? And that thought of doing that might instantly bring up fear. This idea, if I don't prepare, bad things could happen. If I don't prepare, this could happen, or this could happen, or this could happen. I could look like an idiot. But if we just lean back, hold space for that fear, breathe into it, and allow our breath to be like the water that brings such cooling nourishment. And naturally breathe into the fear, and wherever you're feeling it in your body, and using your breath just as the water shapes and changes the river, we can use our breath to create a more expansive container within us. So in leaning back, it's not that the fear goes away, because the moment that we choose to lean back, that fear may still be there. But what we do is we have trust in ourselves and have trust in the universe that we will be guided to the next step, and then we take that next step. And we trust that however everything unfolds is exactly as it's meant to be, even if it doesn't make sense in the moment. Because even if something doesn't unfold perfectly, doesn't mean that it wasn't meant to unfold that way. It just means that our mind can't comprehend why it unfolded that way. And so we come to trust in universal timing, in the unfolding of things in its own time and space. And when we can move to that place, to that understanding that everything comes in its own time and place, we get to let go of being perfect. We get to let go of having to know it all or prepare it all or be it all. And instead we get to just be ourselves. We get to lean back and just focus on one moment at a time. We get to just live the experience. And it doesn't mean not preparing at all, but it means allowing that guidance of when and what to prepare to come in its own time, and to let ourselves be imperfect and to just be with love.